Welcome to class. This video is all about the tools that we use in our pottery studio. Here are all of the tools that we are going to talk about today. First and foremost, we're going to talk about our sponges. We have two different kinds of sponges in our studio. As you can see, one is smaller and one is bigger. Why do you think that might be the case? This sponge is called our throwing sponge. Our throwing sponge is one that we use to add water while we're working on the potter's wheel to smooth out edges on any slab work, anything of that sort. We do not use this tool, this sponge, to clean our wheel, to clean tables, anything of that sort. If you are using this sponge for cleaning, I'm going to ask if you like torture, and then I'm going to hand you this sponge, which is our cleanup sponge. Cleanup sponge, much bigger, holds a lot more water, can do a lot more work when it comes to cleaning. So that is the difference between these two sponges. One is the function and two is the size. Next up, we have these two tools. These two tools are our ribs. One is wood and one is metal. Why do you think we might use a metal one versus a wood one for different circumstances? Awesome. A metal rib is one that we use for flexibility. So it's got this nice sharp edge. If we want curves on our pieces, anything of that sort, we want to smooth out a slab, something of that sort, we're going to use our metal rib. It has flexibility. Now, our wooden rib, which is going to be the first rib that you learn how to use, is nice, firm, rigid, has nice straight sides on it. This can be used for a lot of different purposes in the studio. Nice pointed tip, nice straight sides. I will teach you all of the things you need to know about ribs. These are not scrapers, they are ribs. Next up is our needle tool. Needle tool is a tool that can be used in many different ways as well in the studio. This is our needle tool or pin tool. It can be named either in the studio. Please do not call it the pokey thing. This can be used to cut off the tops of our pieces, to scratch and slip when we are attaching our handles, to cut clay, a bunch of different purposes. I will teach you all of the things that you need to know in how to use the needle tool. Next up is our potter's knife. This is our potter's knife, also known as a modeling knife. This knife has a blade and a tip, and it's quite long. We can use it to have some good leverage when we're holding our pieces. Another thing, it's got a nice rounded curve on the end of it. This is an extension of our finger. It can be used to cut the bottom of our piece round. It can be used in a lot of different ways to measure our pieces, anything of that sort. This one is a wooden potter's knife. Next up is our wire tool. Wire tools are a very useful tool in the studio. This is something that we can use to cut our clay, to remove our piece off of the wheel, a bunch of different purposes. We want to make sure that these stay nice and straight. So when we use them, we don't want to kink them. We want to only wrap them, make sure they're nice and smooth all the way through. Some of these tools will get bruised and battered. I will replace some of them, but we want to be careful with how we use these tools. I will show you the best way. This is a wire tool. Let's do a quick review of each of the tools. As I throw down the tools onto the table, please shout out the name of these tools. Here are the names of the tools that we reviewed today. Go ahead and watch the next video.